In this video, we're going to learn about the chops operators, known as channel operators. And the cool thing about this family is like we're going to process motion, audio, math, logic, MIDI data, numeric things, a lot of things, protocol information. So yeah, it's like, what is this? We're going to control numbers in a way. And I'm going to divide these operators into episodes. The first one will be more numbers and simple thing or add animation to things, and the others for input, joystick, things like that, mouse. So I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to share with you the simple one, a constant. The constant's just a number. For example, it's like when we use this. For example, because we know how to create a circle tab. And yeah, sometimes we need this radius, we need to change it all the time. For me, I try to use the constant for create like the variance of this circle. For example, for me will be radius. And the radius will be 0.25. And then I want to control, for example, what else we have? The center, for example, or position X. And I'm going to put 0.1 and see what happens. So the cool thing, I can go to this constant and press this plus button. It's like viewer active. And I can select this radius, drag and drop to radius. We have option. I can just release maybe in the X. Okay, Control Z. Or we can go to just the radius, chop reference, and we change the both. And I'm going to, sorry, it's not pause X, it's my dyslexic things. Okay, and I'm going to pause position and X, release, and we have that. So for me, I try to put all the data of variables or parameters in this constant, because I can see here it's like, oh, the circle is, the radius is 0.25, the position in X is 0.1. Sometimes it's like I need to go to the circle and see all that parameters. But with this constant, it's like I can see things. But I try to put the important things there. Just obviously not all of this because it takes too much time, but the importance. Because it's like, okay, maybe I want to create a rectangle where it is, and I want to use the same size. Okay, we can select this radius and release it to the size. So the cool thing is like, oh, I need to change that. Right now is 0.3, and going to change that parameters for these two operators. So that is the cool thing about the constant. The other thing that we have, for example, I want to add animation. We use we use the code, but in this case, for example, we have LFO. LFO just is a number between -1 and 1. And we can change the name for that. Right now it's in channel. Right now it's channel 1. I'm going to change that, I don't know, for rotate. And right now, for example, I'm going to drag that to the rotate from the rectangle. And you can see it's like moving, not too much. And the LFO, we don't have, maybe we have the amplitude, but it's like, I want to move for a specific number between -90 and 90. How I can do that? The best or simple way to do it, we have this LFO. I'm going to connect here a null. Going to put it here. And now to the rectangle, I'm going to connect from the null this rotate. And because I want to add here in the middle something they call math. With the math, we can do this. We have range. Right now we are receiving from range -1 to 1, and I want to transform that to -90 to 90. So right now our cube is moving to the left and right all the time. With the LFO we can change the frequencies like the speed, so you can see it's much better at that. Or with the MIDI we can change, no, I don't just want to move to -15 and 15 degrees. You can see it's moving in that way. So yeah, sometimes I think TouchDesigner works a lot with numbers like between -1 and 1. And with the MIDI, we can transform that number to a specific number that we want to use it for our objects or visuals. For example, we have pattern. We can create this, I don't know, change of numbers. Right now we have a, oh, not change, it's like a rate of number between 0 and 1,000 numbers, because we have 1,000. Maybe I want just 1, and I can animate this if I want. The cool thing, we have different curves of animation, cosine, sine, many things, and we can do the same for example with the rotation. We can go to the channel, rename this to rotate. We can animate this. We have phase. Remember, with phase we can add animation. So it's ABS time that seconds multiply through that 1, and we animate these things. And I can change again this pattern to the math, and we have that. But for example, what happened? I'm going to duplicate this pattern and I have another name. It's like, I don't know, hello. Okay. Going to disable this. What happened? We have that, and I'm going to replace this hello to this. And my rectangle is like, right now it's connected to rotate the null 1, perfect, but rotate. But right now the name is hello. How we fix that? Obviously we can go to here and we change the name, but sometimes I want to just all the time connect and disconnect things, and I don't want to change to all of these the same name. It's like take too much time. So for me, I create here a rename, and the rename is like whatever name you have. I'm going to call you rotate. I did it. Yeah, rotate. Yeah, I'm checking. Yes, it's working. Take time. Okay. And the cool thing, I can go here, change, I don't know, whatever name, reconnect. It's working. So that is the thing for rename. Another thing that we have, for example, I'm going to take this LFO. I'm thinking, or maybe not. I'm going to take, I'm going to take this LFO. And what happened if I want to create a count? It's like counting 1, 2, 3. How we can do that? We have here, I'm going to create a count. How this work? This word is like every time when the number is 1, it's going to add another 1. So you can see we start 1, 3. So another 1, 4. So it's counting. Perfect. And what happened if like, okay, I want to, every time it's 1, change to 6, and will be, I don't know, again, a rotation. I'm going to duplicate this rectangle. And I'm going to create here a null. Here. And I want to add to here this rotation. Rotate 1 angle every time. I'm going to change the resolution too, so you can see much better. So we have this, every time it's 1 is add a new thing. I'm going to put faster the frequency. So you can see it's like moving that. 20, 21, 22. It's like, okay, nice. I can do weird things like that, like a clock. But what happens if I want to smooth this speed? It's like, because right now it's 30, 31, 32. I want to smooth this thing. We have options. We can add here. I use this a lot, the lag. With the lag, we have here the lag. We have this in seconds. So for me, I'm going to put unit 2 between one number and the other. Right now it's 0.2 seconds. I want to 1 second. So you can see right now it's smooth because the number is like create a 1 second between the current number and the new one. So it's like we create that animation. We can press this bypass. So it's right now not working, and I'm going to change the speedness to frequency by 2. So you can see it's much faster. So I connect the lag. So it's moving with speed. Oh, smooth. Another tool that I use is filter. So with filter, again, create an effect like tight with cyan and smooth. But the cool thing, the difference with the lag, is like we can put, again, here the speed, 0.5 will be the speed between one number and the other. We add that. So yeah, we have that 2 things. But sometimes you can see here, it's like, oh, we have too many information. This is connected, this constant. This constant is connected to this one, and then we have this null one, and then we have this null 2. Too many information. I want everything just be in one place. So what we can do, first I'm going to change the name for the LFO. Rotate 2. Yeah, we're going to have problem here, don't worry. Rotate 2. And the thing is, because we have this rotate, and I'm going to have this rotate again, so I don't want that. And what we can do is like merge all of this is using a merge. And the cool thing with that is we can have all the information in just one box. And then it's like, okay, I want to select everything. Everything needs to be connected to this radius. And for example, the sphere, I want the position X here. And for these rectangles, just for rectangle 1 will be rotate. This rotate, and the other will be rotate 2. So right now, I think almost everything. Let me check. Radius size. Yeah. So right now, everything, I can disable this, is connected. This not. Need to change the radius. Everything is connected from this merge thing. So that is cool. It's like, I don't need to have many boxes connected to everything. Obviously, depend of what. Maybe you can create groups of merge and see what happens. And another thing that we have that is important to see is the timeline. We have access to the frame. We have here, you can enable seconds. So we can connect this if you want. I'm going to remember we have this. We can dismerge. We can connect maybe the rotation. I'm going to duplicate this rectangle again. And maybe we can connect this rectangle to the frames, and the rotation will be, every frame is moving. Nice. So yeah, these are the simple chops. I use, if you ask me which of these I use a lot, is the math, the merge, the lag a lot, and the pattern. I think the pattern is my best friend. Obviously, I'm going to show you in the next videos a lot of things with all of these operators. But yeah, it's like with this, you can create animation, you can connect things and have everything in order and working. In this second part of this chop, we're going to talk about the inputs. Sometimes you're going to create interactive things or live shows and you need more inputs. For example, a MIDI controller, use a joystick, what happens if we put the mouse, a lot of things. So I'm going to explain you. So first, I'm going to start with the simple thing with the mouse. And for the mouse, we have 2 options. The first one will be mouse in, and this is for the system. I'm going to move my mouse. The system detects the position of my mouse in my monitor, okay? To the left, right, top, and down. Okay, this is the important, because we have another one when we select panel. And here we have another thing that I'm going to explain you later. But first we're going to start with the mouse in. So what we can do, I'm going to create a circle, a top one, and I'm going to change the resolution for this one. So we go into common and we change the resolution to 1280 by 1280. And I'm going to change this white color because for my screen is too much, too bright for me. So for that, I select the circle, go to circle, just change the color to this violet and enable the background. So for example, I want to move this circle to the top, left, and everything. So first I'm going to change the size, maybe do that 2. And for the center we can move. I'm going to put the left. So the left will be minus 0.3, the same for the right, but in positive, and we can check the top if you want. But it's a square, so it's the same for all the left, right, up and down. So perfect. The second thing we need to check is the mouse in to the left is -1, 1, but the top is 0.54, so something like that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is create here a select. To select, copy and paste. The first one, I'm going to detect the TX, and the second one, I'm going to detect the TY. So for the TX, I'm going to create a math. Remember, with the math, we can create a range. So I'm going to range, and we are receiving -1 to 1, and I'm going to change that number between -0.3 and 0.3. For the TY, I'm going to connect again a math, and will be, I'm receiving -0.54, 0.44, and the range will be, I'm thinking, yes, -0.3 and 0.3. What I'm going to do after that, I'm going to merge everything because I want everything just in one box. And then I send this data to the circle. So I press this plus button to this chop. Going to take this TX, drag and drop to the center X, then drag and drop to the TY. So right now you can see I'm moving to the left, right, top, bottom. I can move this circle with my mouse. Perfect. You can use this for interactive things, but for example, because it's moving all the time and I need to be there in the top and I don't like it too much. So for example, when I divide this screen, I can go to here in the top, panel type. I'm going to select panel. And I'm going to change the name to this null. I'm going to be out1. So right now we can preview. I'm going to disable this display. I'm going to see this circle. But right now you can see it's like I'm the left for this area or this panel, but it's just in the center. And it's this because remember, this mouse in detect the position of the mouse in the monitor. So I need to move everything around. But what happened, I want to just move in this area, in this canvas where I'm creating things. So that is the reason we're going to use panel. Because you can see I'm going to zoom in here. Nothing happened when I move, but when I'm going to move to the right and be in this area where is the circle is, you're going to see this inside. You're going to see a lot of moving, but the important is inside U, inside B. I'm going to in and start to moving. So this is the position of my mouse inside of this canvas. So inside U is left, move to the right, inside B, top and down. I'm going to select that things. And again, I'm going to create a select. This will be, I need inside U, copy and paste, inside B. Perfect. So right now you can see here nothing happened, but inside it's moving. I'm going to do the same, checking the numbers. So the top is 0 dot, almost 5. Okay, left, right. So the cool thing, this is a square, so everything is like the same number. So I'm going to create a math. In the math, I'm going to change that between 0 to 0.4. And I want to change that to minus 0.3 to 0.3. I'm going to copy and paste. Going to connect the other inside B. We have the same. And then I'm going to create a merge. I'm going to connect everything. Perfect. And select the circle. And again, press this display or this plus button. And going to send the U, inside B. So right now, I'm going to move. Nothing happened. But here it's moving. So it's like, oh, what happened? What I did wrong? Because it's not moving like I wanted. So I'm going to check again the numbers. Left is 0, to the left. Ah, okay, to the left you can see it's 1 here. 1, 0, to 1. Okay, my bad. I was wrong. Here is the numbers in the range 0 between 1 and the range 0 between 1. So right now, to the left, to the right, to the top, to the bottom. So right now, this is moving according my mouse position in this area. I'm outside, nothing is moving. So for me, this is more precise in things when I test things, okay? So cool, we have the mouse. What else we can do? I'm going to save this. Okay, what else we can do? We have, for example, obviously, we have the keyboard in. For the keyboard in, I'm going to move this so we have a space. With the keyboard in, we can here inside put the key. Right now it's 1 every time when I press this holding and release, holding and release. We can do things. For example, I can create a math. And because I'm receiving between 0 and 1, remember 0 and 1, I can do, okay, I want to maybe change the scale of this circle. So I'm receiving between 0 and 1, and I'm going to scale this between 0.1 to 0.5, for example. I can create a null. I'm going to do here a rename. The rename is like detecting the name of it changed to scale. So for example, right now I change this number. It's just the system remember the final output will be scale, just in case. So I'm going to the circle and connect this scale. But right now I'm going to press 1. You can see grown up. Perfect. But it's too fast. So we're going to add animation, and remember we can add lag. So I'm going to go here, press 1. Can hold and release or press many times. And with the lag, obviously you can play with the speedness. Right now I'm going to put 0.3, 0.3. I think that is okay. Nice. And obviously we can add more and more things. For example, right now I have this circle. I'm going to duplicate this circle, and I'm going to change the color so you can identify which one. And I'm going to create a switch. The switch is for change the visual. It's like I want this 0, I want the 1. Or I can do a blending, so it's like changing between that. And the cool thing both is moving to the same position, so it's like I can change the color. Okay. So what we can do with this switch? The cool thing with the keyboard, we can do a logic. What is that? I'm going to copy the keyboard. And I'm going to press, for example, 2 and 3. I have that 2 and 3. So when I'm going to press 2, I want to show or see the purple circle. And when I switch to the 3, I want to see this pink color. How I can do that? Because right now I have two numbers. I want to just the system understand I'm pressing this key, show me this one, this circle, and pressing this number 3, just show me this circle. How we can do that? So here I'm going to create a logic. Because you can see when I press, I'm going to delete this logic. You can see I press 2 and release, and the system forget what I press. I need to hold that number. I need to remember that. So the logic is going to help me for that. So I'm going to connect the logic. I'm going to pre-channel and we press this radio button. So you can see the system now I understand the last button that I pressed was the keyboard 2. So I press 3 and I keep in there. 2, 3, 2, 3. Perfect. The system have memory. And then I need to create a fan. And the fan, go inside, I select fan in. So right now, the system, we have the keyboard here and the keyboard in. The logic is remember what key I press. Right now it's 3. And the fan is showing me what index. We have here the 0, here we have the 1. So the system is like, oh yes, you are pressing the index 1. So it's keyboard in. Sorry, keyboard 3. So I press 2, show 0, 3, 1. So the cool thing with this, I'm going to create again a null. I'm going to connect this to the switch because the switch moves between 0 and 1. So I'm going to send this index. So I'm going to press 2, change to this violet thing, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. And the cool thing, and again, we can add a lag or animate this, maybe 1 second. And now I'm going to press 2, go to that, 3. You can see here in the switch what's going on. Press 2 and 3. So the cool thing we can add, for example, another shape, another circle will be orange. And I'm going to change the scale. I don't want to this be animated. Maybe that. And it's the same for this pink. Something like that. So I'm going to press 2, 3. But I need to add this new one. So will be another keyboard. So the cool thing is just go here to the keyboard in and add the 4. Now I press 2, 3, 4. 3, 2. So the system remember that. So we have a smart system. So yeah, with the keyboard, we can animate things for a specific parameter, or we can create a system smart to maybe switch or blend elements. What else we have? And I like the joystick. Right now, I prepare this. You can see here on the right bottom, I have my camera right now. I have my MIDI controller, but I'm going to show you my joystick. The beautiful joystick for Xbox pad. The idea of this is we can detect information of the joystick. Yes. So how we can do that? First, we need to, obviously, you need to connect your joystick to your computer. Right? I'm using USB because it's much better. And you're going to call a joystick. With the joystick, I'm going to move many things, and you can see things are moving. So yeah, we detect information everywhere if I press many things. So cool. What happened if I want maybe move the circle with this, and maybe I'm changing my position so you can hear me. Or maybe we can change the scale if we press a lot of buttons. Okay, so we're going to do that. So first we need to detect the axis. The axis and X and Y is the position. So we're going to do the same. Everything is the same thing. Select, and we're going to select X and Y. And the cool thing about this, they are moving the same number. So again, it's like we can check. It's like -1 and 1, 1 and -1. So the cool thing, they move to the same number. So we're going to create a range. Let's range some math. And with the math, we create this range. It will be -1 to 1, and we need to remember that we're going to move -0.3, 0.3. So and then I'm going to create a null. I'm going to press the keyboard 2 so we can see this thing, this piloted, and I'm going to send this position to the center. So what we're going to do is right now is move the circle. It's moving according this joystick. So this is cool when you do a live show. It's much better, smooth, nice. It's the text, you can see. It's very good. So we're going to continue, for example, with this button. So I'm going to press again this button and see which button it is. Okay, it's B1. So I'm going to select it. Here, oh, there, select. We need B1. B1 will be math. And we are receiving 0 and 1, so the range will be 0 and 1, between 0.1 to maybe 0.4. We want to animate this because we want much better animation, like, and then a null. And I'm going to add that to the radius. So we're going to test this. When my joystick move, and when I press the button, I can scale. So you can move and press the button. Oh, I don't know, it's like go with the rhythm if you have music. So yeah, we can do with joystick. And yeah, it's cool. And right now it's just a circle with position and just the scale. Imagine that you can do with a visual more complex and you add more and more function to all of these buttons. So the joystick is cool, but the cool thing is this one, the MIDI controller. So I'm going to show you. And this is important. First, you need to always, I don't know why, but first you connect your MIDI controller. Here is USB. And then you open TouchDesigner. Why? Because if I do it in, for example, I open TouchDesigner and then connect my MIDI controller, I don't know why, but TouchDesigner doesn't recognize the device. So first, connect the device and then open TouchDesigner. You can think, oh, right now I can connect a MIDI controller, MIDI, and nothing happened. What do we need to do? I'm going to delete this MIDI. We need to go here, App, Dialogs, and we have MIDI Device Mapper. When we do that, we need to create a new one and select our device. Mine is the Launch Controller XL. And when I do that, you're going to see I'm going to move a few buttons. I'm receiving information. And I'm receiving the value, the index, the message, everything. Perfect. I'm going to close this. Now I can bring my MIDI controller. I'm going to move again a few things. Now I'm receiving. For example, I like this switch. We can put that, for example, for a scale. Or maybe this 3 could be color, RGB. Okay, I'm going to do a lot of that. So first one will be, I'm going to reset so I can put the order of all of this. We can put reset channels. So the first one will be scale. The second one will be R. The other will be B and G. Okay, so I'm going to use these these four things. First one, I need to detect the number will be 0 and 127. So I'm going to start with a select. I'm going to select the first one, and I'm going again a math, and a range. So I'm receiving 0 to 127, and I want the scale between 0.1 and 0.4. Create here a null. And with the null, I'm going to create here a merge because I want everything together. If I want, for example, this is channel 9, control 78, I want to rename this because it's like I'm going to remember all of this. So for me, this will be scale. And I'm going to assign that to our circle. And the cool thing, because it's a slider, this is smooth. Obviously, I can do it faster, but you can see it's smooth. I don't need maybe an animation for the. I don't need a lag. I think so. Or we can do it. We can check what happened. What happened if we add a lag? You can see maybe it's not too good. Maybe I'm going to put 1. When it's bigger, the number is much better because you can see it's smooth when it's finished animation. What else we can do is, remember, we're going to change the color RGB. So for the color, I'm going to create again a select. And we need the second one, the third, everything we need a math. The math would be a range between 0.127. The color move between 0 and 1. We can range this one. Sorry, no range, rename. So we can put here will be RGB. And then connect everything to this merge. And we're going to send this to the colors, to the field. RGB. So right now I have this RGB down, but if I'm changing, for example, this is green, this is blue, this is red. So the cool thing right now, I can switch and do many things, even when I animate it. So the cool thing of all of this is we can add or activate a few things if you want. For me, when I do use the MIDI, is for activate or enable a few effects. It's like full effects or not effect. And obviously we need to check the buttons. So the cool thing with the button is the same like the keyboard in. I'm going to show you. And again, we need to detect this. So if I move here, I'm going to press, for example, this 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to detect that. And we're going to do the same logic, but first we need to create a select. For the select, we need to detect that buttons. I will need this one, the other one, and the one, and we're going to do the same what we did. We need a logic. With the logic, we need a radio button. Then we need a fan. And we're going to rename this. Sorry, the fan is fan in, and then rename. The rename will be, for example, switch. And then we connect to the merge. Now I'm going to the switch and send this switch. So right now I think it's moving with the I think it's with the mouse, but right now nothing happened because we have everything connected to this one with the orange or with the blue. I can switch right now the other circle and the other. But again, it's moving too fast. I'm going to add a lag. Give me a second. And when I add the lag, I have this blending. I'm going to set up the lag maybe faster because right now it's 0.2 seconds. So 0.75 is okay. So again, press the buttons. You can see lower. So yeah, with all of this, we can do a lot of things with your visual. And the MIDI, believe me, help you a lot for a live show. Help me a lot. Here, for example, what I do here in the right, adjust the audio, for example, the kick, the highs, the lows, everything. Here, this is like a slider I use for activate or how affect a few effects. Here is like feedback, and here a few parameters for that feedback. Here effect, I don't know, edge, a few parameters for the edge, and the button is for switch many visuals. What else you have? Obviously, you can have a Kinect. I don't have a Kinect, but you can. The cool thing about the Kinect is just that you connect that. You can select which version of the Kinect you have, and the cool thing you're going to detect here. You can see foot, ankle, knee, all the position, and TX, TY, and TZ. So that is very good. And you can do the same. Use a select. Maybe you can create a math for the range, and you can use it for your projects. You have if you have a limb motion, you can connect a limb motion. You have options here. And yeah, you have a lot of things here, but I think the most important are the MIDI, keyboard, joystick, and mouse, because they are the simple and you can have access. And the cool thing you can, with the mouse specifically, you can create interactive things. With the keyboard, it's just a keyboard. And for example, I set up this preview with the keyboard. I can close that preview of my camera. I just activate, and I did it just with my keyboard. Yeah, this is the video about chops. I hope you like it, and see you in the next video. Bye.